Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us again. We're very happy to be sharing our third day of Sahaja Yoga's meditation series with you. For those of you who are new to the program, my name is Sadhna, and I'll be co-hosting the first week of the program with my husband, James. James, are you there?
Yep. Hi, everybody.
Awesome. So it's been really nice to see how eager everyone has been with trying the extra meditations at home. I know some people have really liked to share their experiences on the WhatsApp group and also chatting, asking questions, and just trying to get them to get a bit more deeper in their meditations at home. And if you'd like to be a part of this and join on the WhatsApp group, we'll be posting the link in the chat towards the end of the session. So today we have a different Paul with us. Today we had a Paul, and today we have another Paul. And Paul has been practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation for a very long time, and he is very experienced in conducting specifically online guided meditation. He is going to take us through a short self-realization meditation to really help establish the Kundalini. Then he'll talk to us about the real meaning and purpose of meditation and yoga, followed by a short talk by the founder of Sahaja Yoga, Srimati Nirmala Devi. Then finally, he will help us to feel really peaceful and balanced inside by taking us through another guided meditation. So let's get into it. How are you going, Paul?
Hello, thank you for having me today. Can you hear me properly?
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, James, and thank you, Sadhana. Yes, today I thought it would be great to have a bit of a perspective. What is the meaning of yoga? Because if I walk down the street here in Melbourne, you have acrobatic yoga, you have hot yoga, you have cool yoga, you have physical yoga, you have all kinds of yoga. And I think in the West, yoga is becoming quite superficial. While the yoga has been around for 1,000 years, since Patanjali about 2,000 years ago put together what was previously a bit more of a spoken tradition. So I will cover that today and what's the real meaning of yoga, and link it with why meditation is important and what's the relationship with yoga, religion, and spirituality. So what I would like to do today, because it's quite important it's a practical session, I would like to start with what you have seen in the first few days, which is what we call self-realization. And the self-realization is the first meditation, as Sadhana has mentioned to us, where we are going to awaken an energy in us, and that resides here in the sacrum bone. And that energy, called the Kundalini, rises in the central channel, and we get what we call self-realization when this energy is opening the seventh center or seventh chakra. A lot of terms, nothing to worry about. The only thing I would like to mention is that this is quite a new experience for many of us, and it is the actualization of yoga. So I will show you first how it's done, and we will together we'll see what we can feel, because it's all about feeling rather than just reading or listening. And once we feel it, we can then meditate, and I will give you some explanations. All right? So let's get started. The first thing we will do is put both our hands on our laps if you are sitting at home. So I'm sorry, my screen is a little small. And when we go through that exercise of self-realization, the left hand will stay on our lap, and the right hand will go on the different centers that you can see here: the heart, the Nabi, we call it the Svadhisthana, back to the Nabi, the heart, the neck, the forehead, and then the Sahasrara, the last chakra. So First, our hand will be on our heart. I will stand up so you can see it. Then our hand will go under the rib cage. Then at the hip, all on the right side. Then back under the rib cage. Back on the heart. And then probably the most complicated is actually to put the right hand at the corner of our left shoulder and neck and turn our head towards the right to give a bit of tension on the neck here. Then we'll put the hand on our forehead, at the back of our head, and to finish up, we'll put our hand on top of our head here, the area that was soft when we were a kid called the fontanelle, the little fountain actually. So we stretch our hands, we press it hard, and this is where we are going to ask for self-realization. Okay, so it's a first meditation straight away. I hope you're all with me. Now that you know it, what we're going to do, we are going to do it eyes closed because it will help this energy, the Mother Kundalini that's in our sacrum bone, to actually rise and keep our attention inside. All right. I hope you're all comfortably seated. Just relax. Put both your hands on your laps. And we can, if you have shoes on, you can remove your shoes because it's always good to have our feet on Mother Earth. And the first thing we'll do in that exercise is to put our right hand on our heart, on the left side. And here we are going to ask a fundamental question. And that question is, Mother, and we refer to Mother Kundalini, that is the motherly energy in us. Mother, am I the spirit? And we can ask that question 3 times, starting to put our attention inside. Then we can put our right hand under the rib cage on the left side, keeping our attention inside. And here we'll ask a second fundamental question, which is, Mother, am I my own master? Am I my own teacher? And we can ask that question 3 times again. We can bring our right hand down at the lower part of the abdomen, close to the hip on the left side. We can press it a little bit. And here is the center of knowledge in us. So here we can ask up to 6 times, because this center has 6 subplexuses. Mother, please give me the pure knowledge. Six times. Keeping our attention where we have our hand, our right hand. We can now bring it back up under the rib cage on the left. And Here, it's no more a question, but an affirmation, because our Kundalinis have started to rise. And through this affirmation, we'll strengthen the rise of a Kundalini. So our right hand just under our rib cage on the left, we can say with full confidence, Mother, I am my own master. I am my own teacher. We can move our right hand to the heart again. And here we are going to say up to 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit. Because we are more than this body, this mind, part of this material world. We are much higher. So 12 times, Mother, I am the spirit, which is the eternal part in us. Then we raise the right hand at the junction of the neck and the shoulder on the left side, and we can turn our head towards the right to bring some tension, because that center is quite often problematic for many people. So here we can say 8 times or even up to 16 times if you feel guilty, because this center is affected by guilt. So here we can say with full confidence, Mother, I am not guilty at all. How can we be guilty if the divine is an ocean of forgiveness? So, Mother, I am not guilty at all. Now we can put our right hand on our forehead, press a bit on the sides, tilt the head a little bit forward, down, looking down. And here is an important step, which means that that's the step where we have to forgive. Forgiveness is the greatest human quality we can have. So here we can say, it doesn't matter how many times, it's the sincerity that counts. Mother, I forgive everyone. Don't think about anybody specifically, just forgive. And a great weight will be lifted in your lives. You can also say, Mother, I forgive myself. Once we forgive, the doors of joy are opening in us. Now we can put the right hand at the back of the head, rest the head a little bit, tilting the head towards the back a little bit. And here we can say, for our own satisfaction, for divine, if I have done anything wrong, please forgive me. Now we can put our hand on top of our head, our right hand on top of our head. Press it hard, stretch your hand, and rotate it, this area, the fontanelle area, 7 times, asking for your self-realization. So here we can say 7 times, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my yoga. With your attention fully on top of your head. Mother, please give me my self-realization. And we can put back our hands on our laps. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your attention on top of your head. Without thinking, we can just meditate for a couple of minutes. If we have thoughts, just forgive your thoughts. They will disappear. This is the present moment. Let's slowly shift our attention to our hands. And just without thinking, just observing like a witness, just see if you can feel coolness in your hands, like a cool breeze blowing in your hands. At the beginning, it can be a little hot, or you might feel some specific fingers tingling or numb or a bit hot. Maybe one hand or the other hand. Without thinking, just observing. We can also try to put our right hand on top of our head, on top of the fontanelle. Just see if you can feel coolness coming from the top of your head. It can be strong, it can be a little hot. If you don't feel it, doesn't matter. We'll show you techniques how to feel it more. But this is this is how we can open our eyes now. This is how you can start to know yourself. This is when we have this yoga, this self-realization. We can start to feel in our hands. We can start to feel on a central nervous system the state of our growth, the state of our own being. Because each of these chakras, each of these channels or nadi, as they're called in Sanskrit, have different qualities. And the greatest thing that Sri Mataji, the founder of Sahaja Yoga, has brought us by starting Sahaja Yoga in 1970 is this ability to feel our current state. And when you start to feel your state, it's very easy to correct it. Because if, for example, if you are in a room, it's dark, it's very difficult to find an object in the pitch black. But if there is a little light, you can start to see, and it makes it very easy to find what you are looking for. So Sahaja Yoga is that simple. If you want, know that you have your self-realization, it's like this little light in you is enlightened. And you can actually start to feel on your central nervous system what's the state, what's your quality, and what you can improve in your spiritual ascent. So that's certainly a great difference compared to yoga as it was practiced in the past. We call our area Satya Yoga or the Aquarius age. That means that it's the area where many people can get this self-realization at the same time. And we can get it not only immediately, but without having gone through the asceticism that many of the people had to go through when they wanted to get that self-realization in the past. So let's come to the topic of the day about what is yoga? What's the meaning of yoga? As I said, yoga is all over the place. Advertising, you can buy classes online or go to a gym. Everybody has yoga. But yoga is not that. The meaning, the definition of yoga means union. And yoga was, as I said, compiled by Patanjali, the Patanjali Sutras more than 2,000 years ago. And as part of that, it was something to help us grow spiritually. You had different aspects, about 8 aspects that could be developed. And it started at the physical aspect, the breathing, the control of emotions, the control of our body, then moving to some more subtle things like meditation, and with the final objective, which was called samadhi. And what is samadhi stands for? It's the same meaning as what we call self-realization. It's this union that we have through the 7th chakra with the all-pervading power that's around us. So in the past, when realization was more something that was passed from a master to a disciple, it was very difficult. It was a lifelong undertaking. And you had people, isolating themselves in the Himalayas, people going in monasteries or trying to isolate themselves from the surrounding world so they could concentrate and not be affected by the material world. And for a few lucky ones, they could get this self-realization, this union after having cleansed themselves, after having opened up one chakra after another, as you can see on the chart behind me. But in our current Facebook, Zoom age, Netflix age, pretty difficult to isolate ourselves, I would say. And this is why Shimataji started Sahaja Yoga. And for many, many years, Shimataji traveled the whole world giving self-realization to seekers, to people that wanted to know themselves better, to people that wanted to grow spiritually. And the beauty is that once you get your self-realization, once you establish your self-realization, once you can actually feel what we call vibrations, once you can feel the Kundalini and your chakras in your hands, you can also give self-realization to people. Everybody can get it. It's simply something that someone has to desire. So yoga is union, yoga is spiritual, yoga is the same thing as religion. What is the meaning of the word religion? I'm from Europe, right? So I learned Latin when I was a kid, long time ago. And religions means religare in Latin, which means linking. And it's exactly the same thing, meaning the goal of all religions is to actually link yourself to that all-pervading power, to this divine love that surrounds us. So yoga, samadhi, self-realization, religions have all the same goal, even if some have gone astray, some along the way. And once we get that self-realization, we get to a higher state of awareness, not only about ourselves, but whatever is surrounding us. And we get to a stage, and I will talk a bit more after Shimataji's video, where we can enjoy a state of bliss, joy, and complete awareness. And above all, we actually have a complete understanding and satisfaction of our life, which will lead to a tremendous satisfaction that we can develop. So I think if you are here tonight, we all have some hints that maybe there is something more. Maybe there is something more than just, eating, working, sleeping, getting entertained. And we have hints, because in our normal life, we can be happy, then we are sad, then we are happy again, then we can be sad. And if you look at the religions and the spirituality in the last few thousand years, the objective was to give us balance. To give us balance, because why do we want balance? Because it's very difficult to get this self-realization if we are not in balance. If I look at the chart again behind me, we have the right channel in blue, the left channel in blue, which is the emotional channel, and the right channel in yellow, which is the channel of our mental and physical activity. If we are completely out of balance, for example, if we are too emotional, if you are more depressed or lethargic, it's very difficult to actually grow spiritually. In the same way, if you are thinking all the time, if you cannot sleep, if you are running like a headless chook around, chasing all the plan or the wealth in the future, again, your attention is taken away from the central path, which is the path the Kundalini is taking to give us self-realization. And that path is the balance. So the beauty about the goal, of religion was to give us balance. The 10 Commandments given to us by Moses, it's all about balance. And I'm going to the extent to say that all religions actually branches from one same tree, because at the end of the day, they all say the same thing, absolutely the same thing, sometimes in different way, because it's different people, different environment, and different different times, but the same thing. It's that we should get into balance, that we should get our self-realization. And the message is clear reading all this scripture. So really what I wanted to share with you today is that spirituality certainly is, the goal of spirituality is to get a self-realization. And to get there is to get balance. And today, by the grace of Sri Mataji and Sahaja Yoga, we have this opportunity to achieve it very easily. So I said a few seconds ago, we had hints, we had prophets, incarnation that gave us messages. You have artists, poets, great people like Martin Luther King, like Mozart, Kabir in India, like Michelangelo, like Shakespeare, Zola. They all actually expressed in their work this divine nature that's within us. But this is something that's not can be experienced as you have experienced it when we did the self-realization. And if you didn't feel it fully, I invite you, please come back every day. It's probably the greatest thing you can do in your life. It's the greatest present we can get. And I'm sure by the end of the 21 days, you will feel it very clearly. So I hope you're all excited with that. So what I would like to do now is play a video of Sri Mataji, our teacher, that will talk about what it's all about and what are the qualities you will develop by practicing Sahaja Yoga. So I hope the technical team can put on the video right now. Here we go.
Actually, we are all seeking the truth. So many of us. But so far, so many couldn't find and they are lost. Now, what is the truth? What is the truth about yourself? The truth is that you are not this body. You are not these emotions. But what are you? You are the Spirit. All the great saints and incarnations have said that you are the Spirit. And what we are trying to find out is our selfhood. We are after that research about ourselves. We've done lots of mistakes also by misguided people. But I must say that there is a built-in arrangement within us, every one of you, which will take you to that selfhood, which will give you that self-realization. It's very surprising that they have not talked about Kundalini so far. There is a power within all of you, which is the Kundalini, which is 3.5 coiled energy in your, I should say, behind your triangular bone, or it is inside it, and is waiting for that moment when it can be awakened and it can pass through the different centers, piercing through your fontanelle bone area. And that's how you get your self-realization, that you feel cool breeze coming out of your fontanelle bone area. It's an actualization. It is not my lecture or reading or anything. It's actualization which has to take place. If you don't get it, doesn't matter. Next time you can get it. But most of them do get it in a collective way. It's very surprising that it took so many years for people to come to this state where they are asking for the real thing. This is your own. This power is your own. And it is just waiting there to be awakened. Any amount of lecturing, any amount of reading, nothing can help. What is needed is just a quiet mind, and it works. It works under every circumstances. It's very surprising. This was the time perhaps was meant to be this way. I've been to this country many a times before also. First time when I came, I was so surprised how people were running after falsehood. So I gave it up. After 9 years I came, thinking that what's the matter with these people? Why can't they understand what they have to achieve, what they have to get, whatever is written and said by all the saints, by all the incarnations? I couldn't understand why they were satisfied with all kinds of nonsense. And somehow they came to America and prospered here with all their untruth. It's very sad that we have lost so many beautiful seekers in that pursuit. Now I have to tell you one thing, simple thing, that you must know that you have every right to know yourself, to become self-realized, every one of you. Nobody can force it and nobody can deny it. It is your fundamental right by which you can get your self-realization. If you are a human being, that's sufficient. Whether you belong to America or to India or to any other place, everyone has this right to get your self-realization. As a result of self-realization, what happens? That's the point. Firstly, you start feeling the divine vibrations on your fingertips. Divine vibrations like cool breeze, and it starts flowing through your hands. You'll be amazed when it first happens. You start doubting. I know people who went and closed their doors and windows. I wanted to test and find out if they had those cool breeze. You have it. It's a sign of yourself emitting these pure vibrations. As a result of that, so many other things can happen. But the most important thing is that you become a very peaceful person. You become a very balanced person. And you become that witness about which all the religions have taught. You get to the state of that witness. And once you become the witness, you see the whole picture the whole world in a very different manner. You become the witness. It's a state in which watch everything. Do not react, but you watch. And your presence itself will help people. I know America nowadays is in a very difficult state and people are quite frightened. If they were realized souls, they would never happen. The power of realization is so great. Not that it enlightens you, but it enlightens others, it enlightens the atmosphere. So it's very important that you get your last breakthrough of your evolution and get to that state which we call as self-realization. It is an entry into the divine powers and the spiritual realm of life, which is very, very surprisingly, very much surprisingly is very difficult to understand otherwise. But once you become a realized soul, automatically you know what it is. You become so sensitive. At the same time, you are so well protected. You can solve many problems. You can do so many things which you could never have been able to do. The reason is now you have become empowered by the divine force. This is what you all are seeking, nothing else. This is what you want, nothing else. And this is what you should get. No use going into blind lanes and trying to find out something which you do not know. With this, your health will improve, your wealth will improve, your temperament will improve, and you will become such a compassionate, such a beautiful person that people will be amazed how you have achieved this state.
Hope you have enjoyed this video. I would like now to meditate for 5-10 minutes. So what we can do, we can put our hands on our laps. Try to put our attention inside. Try to put our attention on top of our head. Before we close our eyes, I will show you just a simple exercise that you can do if you didn't feel anything in your hands. And it's simply by putting our right hand, I'm moving aside a bit, our right hand towards the sky with the palm facing towards the back, and the left hand. And the right hand stays on our lap. So the left hand towards the sky, palm facing towards the back. This is in case we have still some heat within us. It will help reduce it, allowing you to feel the cool breeze in your hands later on. So that's an exercise you can do in your meditation. So let's put back both our hands on our laps. Your attention on top of your head. Close your eyes. And let's have some music in the background, and I will guide this meditation. desire to establish yourself in this new awareness through self-realization. A place without truth. It's a place that cannot be described, can only be enjoyed. Keeping our attention on top of our head. This is the present moment. This is the truth. Raise your attention even higher, 5 to 10 centimeters above your head, with just this desire to have our self-realization, to establish it. We can slowly open our eyes. I know that many of us would like just to continue that meditation and enjoy it. The last thing I would like to share with you tonight is that if spirituality is like an oil lamp, our spirit is the flame that has now been enlightened, but the oil, the fuel of the lamp is meditation. No matter the quality of the flame, no matter our past, who we are, meditation will be the one thing that will get us to that state that in India is called Satchitananda, which is complete awareness, complete joy, complete attention to that new state of awareness. So if you have to remember only one thing tonight, is that meditation is the key component of our growth, especially now that you have your self-realization, because you can feel in your hands, your inner being. While meditation is also good for people that are not realized, because it helps them balance themselves. But now that you are self-realized, you can take it to a completely new level. All right, the last thing I want to do, I believe you have done it in the previous section, is to raise a Kundalini. So when we start the meditation in the morning, 5 minutes and 5 minutes in the evening, we start by raising our energy ourselves, and I will show you that now, and put ourselves in a protection, and then we meditate, and then we do it again at the end. So I might have to step back so that you can see it. I'm sorry if you won't be able to hear me as well. So what we do is the left hand is starting at the level of the first chakra here, where the Kundalini is, the sacrum, and the left hand is rising like that, and the right hand is rotating around it like that. In front, below, the back, on top. All right, and we are going to raise it 3 times. So let's do it together with our attention on what we are doing. I come back here so my voice is clearer. So let's raise it. We can watch the center of our left palm. And on top, we do a knot. We can do it a second time, the left hand starting at the base of our spine, rising with the right hand rotating around it. We can tilt our head towards the back too. And we can do 2 knots, which symbolizes our desire for this energy to settle in the Sahasrara chakra. 3 times, we'll finish with 3 knots. Bring your attention. Keep your attention on top of your head. Now we are going to do a protection of our subtle system with the left hand, which will be on your lap, and the right hand starting on the left, half a circle around us and back 7 times. So we'll do it together. The left hand on your lap, the right hand starting on the left, and we do half a circle like that and back. And this protection is like taking the vibrations coming from your Sahasrara, your 7th chakra, spreading it around yourself, around your aura, to give you complete protection. 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now keep your hands in front of you like that, and just see, without thinking, just observing like a witness what you can feel. You might feel more coolness now than before, or more sensation that indicates the state of your inner subtle system. As I said earlier, meditation is the key. So thank you very much for having me. And I'm passing the microphone virtually to James and Sadhana.
Thank you so much, Paul. That was a really, really lovely program. You can really tell that Paul's very experienced in doing these online courses. The way that course is so beautifully orchestrated, yeah, really put me in a nice meditative state. Yeah, I hope that everyone's meditation experience is increasing with each day. Even if you're just getting a sort of little bit of thoughtless awareness, or maybe just a very little subtle cool breeze on your palms or on the top of your head. Hopefully it should be increasing with each session. And yeah, it was very interesting tonight learning about the origins of yoga. These days it really has become sort of lost its meaning and just, become this idea of stretching and getting in shape or whatever. But it's really fascinating to learn tonight about how yoga actually means connection, and the connection of our spirit. It's something really much deeper and subtler than what it's become. Anyway, in regard to your meditations at home, I'm going to share in the chat right now the link for the WhatsApp group. So if you have any questions at all, or just would like to share your experience, you can jump onto that WhatsApp and we'll try and answer your questions as best we can. And the next thing, I want to just share my screen and show you some of the resources, again, that we have available. Can you see my screen okay?
No.
Oh.
It's not shared. Yeah, there we go.
You can see it now? Great.
Yep, you can see it.
So someone on the team pointed out that we kind of maybe threw you in the deep end with this page and the resources. So I'd like to just show you some of the specific parts that might become useful to you. Oh, my battery's getting low. Right, so again, here's the schedule of the upcoming weeks. You can join through Zoom here, or you can YouTube. There's another link to the WhatsApp chat here. And again, if you want to see a previous recording of one of the nights, you can click on it here and we'll have it saved, or you can see what's coming up. Tomorrow we have Living in the Present, a how-to guide. But I really wanted to, again, bring your attention to this part of the site, the resources. So there's a lot of materials here, and actually some of it is meant for later on. It hasn't been introduced to you yet. So one of the links that I would point out to maybe start with is the chakra chart, if I can find it here. Yes, the human subtle system, the chakras and the nadis. This might be a useful one to look at. This is what Paul was referring to today, and some of the other presenters have showed us in the past. If you're new to it and you just sort of see it in the background, it might be a little bit hard to grasp. It's really fascinating because you can see all of these chakras that we have here: Swadhisthana, Nabi, Void, Anahat, Vishuddhi, Agya, and you might kind of wonder what they're about. And it's actually very interesting because each of these chakras has a quality to it. So in the Muladhara, we have innocence. In the Swadhisthana, we have creativity. In the Nabi, we have peace. This area surrounding it, the void, this has to do with our self-mastery. So the ability to really have full control and mastery over ourselves. In the heart is where we express love and compassion. Of course, we know that. In the Vishuddhi is where we express our diplomacy and our collectivity, how we sort of function as a collective being and function and cooperate with other people. And the Agya chakra is a very important center because this is where we can really enter that state of thoughtlessness, which is really sort of fundamental to Sahaja Yoga. So when this Kundalini comes up and it passes through this Agya chakra, then we're able to go thoughtless, and it's able to pass through to the Sahasrar. And at the Sahasrar, this is when the Kundalini is reached here, this is how we're able to feel the cool breeze on our hands and the top of our head. So if you're sort of unsure if your Kundalini's come up, if you are feeling coolness on your hands or on the top of your head, then you can definitely be assured that some strands of the Kundalini are coming up and passing through. But even if you're just starting to feel relaxed, that's a really great starting point. One other thing that might be interesting to think about is the fact that we have all of these centers means we have full potential to have all of these qualities. So as Kundalini passes through each of these centers, it actually awakens and strengthens these qualities within us. So one analogy I like to use is you might know some people who are very peaceful and very satisfied. So they probably have a good Nabi. And you might know some people who are very diplomatic and can speak very well and communicate very well. So they may have a good Vishuddhi. Or you might know some people who are very forgiving. and have very good relationships because they're just very easygoing, forgiving people, right? So all different people have sort of strengths, you could say, and that is how it is for everyone. But with Sahaja Yoga meditation, the aim is to actually understand that actually we have all of these chakras. So that means we have the capability to express all of these qualities. All of us can be innocent, creative, peaceful, satisfied, loving, compassionate, collective, diplomatic, forgiving, right? So as the Kundalini passes, we actually get these qualities. Or if we want to actually focus on them, we can bring them out in our meditation. So I might say to myself, I feel pretty satisfied and I feel pretty forgiving, but I feel like I don't actually show very much love to people or very much compassion, or maybe I'm not very confident. So in my meditation, I might put my attention onto my center heart, and I might just say some affirmation to myself. Please, may I feel the love I have inside myself. May I feel the compassion. May I express love and compassion to people. So yeah, there's really so much to this chakra chart, but it's very simple at the same time. If there's any of these qualities that we'd like to strengthen in ourselves and bring out in ourselves, we can really use Sahaja Yoga to bring those out and to strengthen them. So yeah, feel free to click onto this link and check it out. There's a bit more information here, and at the bottom, there's a nice little graphic of the Kundalini coming up. And you can watch this video as actually an excerpt of Sri Mataji explaining more about the subtle system. That's very fascinating. So anyway, I just wanted to point you to maybe a more relevant topic within these resources. And as the 3 weeks, by the end of the 3 weeks, all of these resources should be relevant to you, but I'll just try and show the ones that are relevant in the meantime. And I just wanted to point out again as well, this is the website, freemeditation.com.au/December 2021. I will chuck that in the chat right now as well. Right, so I'll stop sharing here. And I just wanted to open it up again. If people aren't too shy, did anyone have any questions for us, or did they possibly want to share any of their experiences? Don't be shy.
Maybe Deb, I see that you've said that you've had a beautiful session today in the chat. Is there something you'd like to share from your experience? Sorry to put you on the spot, Deb.
That's okay. I'd just like to say, yes, it's very soothing and very relaxing. I think I felt a little bit of the cool breeze on my left hand towards the end today, so that was pretty exciting.
Yeah,
really enjoying it, and I'm really grateful, to you guys for putting this on. It's just wonderful. Really enjoying it.
Good. Really happy to share, and really happy you've joined in.
Thank you.
great.
Thanks so much.
Anyone else?
I see Vani has been joining a few times. Vani, how are you?
Doing good, James.
How was the meditation tonight?
Oh, it was nice. I enjoyed it. And yeah.
That's great to hear. Thanks, Vani.
Good. Thanks for joining, Vani. Did anyone else have any questions? Don't be shy to ask.
No, this is just an observation. I first came across chakras when I was an 18-year-old. And then when I was 36, I was in Tibet and met an old man who helped me with chakras. And I didn't realize it was called the Kundalini back then, but he basically did a chakra cleansing, I suppose I could call it, using my Kundalini. And he helped me how to do that. And what I like about what's been happening for the last couple of days, a lot of the theory that you guys are going through in the practice, it really resonates with my experience. And the theory is matching. Obviously, it's a shared knowledge, and to me, that wisdom and that knowledge is what I've come across in my life up till now, and I'm really impressed with the activities and the presenters, and Paul was fantastic tonight. And I thank you very much for sharing, Paul. It was terrific.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's
Thanks,
a pleasure
Tony.
to have you.
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for sharing. That was really great. Yeah, it's just so nice that, you know, COVID's kind of brought out these technologies, and it's great that we can all sort of globally come together and easily share this information and meditate together and sort of make a little global community. So it's been really wonderful. All right, well, I won't harass people for sharing their experiences anymore. I guess we can call it a wrap. Really, thanks again for everyone for joining. That's what really makes these programs so enjoyable, is that you guys partake and start meditating at home. It's really wonderful experience. So thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you tomorrow.